Welcome people of YouTube, Jack Gash here again today, talking to you about love and fear and the difference between love and fear. So, love and fear, it's an experience, it's something that happens that we experience in life. Love and fear, love for things, fearful of things. Now in today's world, in today's ongoings and the current saga that's happening around the world, fear is what's being constantly pushed, fear is what's constantly being bombarded and brought to against the people, but love is what we are, and love will prevail. Love will prevail every time, because we're made of love, we're made out of love. Look at nature, look at everything around you. It's made from a loving essence. There's a certain play to it, there's a certain kind of rhythm to life and rhythm to nature, and the ongoing of how it works, how the clouds soar across the sky, how the leaves sprout in certain months, how the birds fly, how the birds sing, you know, how the flowers pop out and retract. It's love, it's a nature, it's a natural vibration that's going on around us. That is love, the love of that's just within everything, the love of God, whatever you want to call it, energy, frequency, spirituality, whatever you want to label it. That is love, the love that's within amongst all of us, all these little beings that we have around us in our lives. Express love towards us, express love in their own way, and express life in their own way. And now we move on to fear. Now fear's a funny one, because it's something that's inhibited, you know, on a survival level. We need fear, but it's associated with ego, because the ego is something that wants to stay protected. It's something that doesn't want to die, and if you didn't have an ego, you wouldn't know how to survive properly. Sometimes living through ego, like today's society that's heavily identified with ego and the sense of I and identity and status and popularity, living in that bubble, living in that kind of level of experience is very limiting. It limits you to a certain experience of life and a certain degree of life, because you don't expand much beyond the self and what the self is opinionated by and what the self is established by. The minute you go beyond the self and beyond this egotistical way of living, where it's not just about greed, it's not just about money, it's about living harmoniously and loving the things that you do and loving the life that you live, and being naturally connected to the environment that you're living in. Like, we are natural beings living in this world. We are the same fabric of the trees, we are the same fabric of the plants, we are the same fabric of the universe that's around us, yet we've separated ourselves from that through the egotistical way of the world. And that's why we're living in a moment of survival now. Everybody's switched into survival mode. We've got people making selfish actions and taking selfish things. Whereas, you know, a communified, more natural way of living brings a level of loving nature towards the community and a sense of togetherness. So yeah, fear is something that we gather, something that we, you know, comes along the way. Your brain is designed to pick up on dangerous things to protect us. So if we're constantly getting bombarded and projected with fear and danger and scares and life being in danger and everybody being in danger and scared more and just constantly amplified, it sends our vibration lower. Now love vibrates very high. Love is the highest vibration we can possibly reach, because love is, you know, it's part of everything, and moving yourself. This is a very energetical way of putting it, but moving yourself through maybe even your chakras, or living life on a different level. You know, you will think back on your life of where you operated at a certain level, and then all of a sudden you met a loved one. You might be still with that person now, and a certain kind of essence came about you, vibrancy changed. You no longer had the pain, you had no longer had the anger, because somebody had fetched a loving nature out of you because you'd fallen in love. Now, that powerful moment of falling in love with somebody is actually the love that's generated within ourselves. And that's the change and the movement and the shift within our own experience. So yeah, living in that loving nature all the time is beneficial to your life. It's beneficial to everything you do, because you no longer wait on life to give you situations that bring that fulfilling feeling. You create that feeling yourself. But to do this, you have to disconnect from the fear, and you have to let go of all the fears that you have, which can be very difficult because we're being taught to be scared. So yeah, love will prevail. All you've got to do is start understanding yourself on a different level. The moment of I can be loving, I can be happy, I can be safe. These moments of epiphanies and euphoria come in stages, and sometimes people will never reach that because they're so lost and entrapped within the fear of the mind. Fear of people's opinions, fear of COVID-19, fear of the virus, fear of whatever, people's judgment, our own judgment. So yeah, the difference between love and fear, fear is something that's gathered, it's picked up along the way, and it's information that's constantly there. Love is something that we are made up of love. So it's about removing fear, it's about removing the negativity, it's about removing the blockages to experience what we actually are. You don't have to go and find love. You just have to find love within you. It's already there. It's already stored. When you fall in love with somebody, when you love hobbies and stuff, it's because it's a sensation within you that you experience. Everything outside is experienced from your own being, from your own self. And just remember that. You can't gather anything out there that will make this feel any better. You have to gather it all from in here, working on your own transformation. So yeah, I just wanted to make a bit of a video about the difference between love and fear, and that, in a state of fear, that's what's happening at the moment, we have to choose love every time. And don't be scared, and don't be, locking yourself away in your house, staying away from certain social gatherings, staying away from this, staying away from that. Don't listen to the mainstream narrative. Follow your own truth and find your own guidance. As I always say on this channel, peace and love to anybody watching this. Make sure you're taking it easy. Make sure you're loving your life. Make sure you're loving yourself. Make sure you're loving the people around you, and expressing love harmoniously, confidently, and unconditionally. Yeah, man.